is a different champion altogether when it comes to like win potential for a compared to a Kassadin. Right, Kassadin is more of an assassin in the late game, jumps to the back line and can immediately delete members. We did see that earlier in the series, 2 series before this one. But for Vladimir, is more of a front to back style champion. Needs to get through that tank line. Needs to walk from there up to the back line to be able to deal his damage most effectively. So very different take on the champion. Also provides a bit more safety compared to Kassadin in the early game to match up against that Akali.
Gragas denied, Galio denied, Alistar also denied. That leaves the tier 2 supports, except the Ornn, of course, will be taken here by Keepus Gaming. EDG would have to settle for the tier 2 supports. Possibly the Rakan, possibly even, a Nautilus right here that is being hovered as of the moment. I'm not really fond of the Nautilus because there's so much outplay potential against a Nautilus. If you make even the slightest mistake, you're just gonna be taken away, and that's -1 already for the comp.
Yeah, that's true. Also, the Nautilus will have a harder time to cancel out the Call of the Forge God from the Ornn later in these fights. Ooh. So it's not gonna be a matter of which support can deal will be able to cancel each other. It's gonna be which support is able to deal the most CC and catch and have the first catch. Nautilus would probably be able to do that. But the thing is, who are you literally gonna catch on the side of KBG, right? You can try catching the Ezreal, but the Ezreal could cast his Arcane Shift. Vlad is not the best always because you could just give him an into your backline. So it's gonna be pretty hard for this Nautilus to get that hook target. So most probably the job of this Nautilus is just gonna be to try and keep the backline of EDG safe.
And it's also very important that he's the only one that has crowd control. It's just Langui. So it's going to be so scary of a situation here for Edward Gaming. Let's see if this is going to be a full takedown, Keepus Gaming, especially with so much crowd control in their lineup. The Jax with the Counter-Strike, Aatrox of course with the Darkened Blades, and they have the Ornn as well to just set things up in a team fight. And just one mistake can be the demise of Edward Gaming. Let's see who's going to get game number 1.
Yeah, we'll see here as we get into the Rift. Game 1 between EDG and KBG. We're looking if there's gonna be any shenanigans from these teams. So far, it doesn't seem so. But also want to commend. I also like actually the Ezreal pick. It gives a bit of safer marksman on the side of KBG. It's one thing that they don't really need to think of as much to peel for their marksman. They can just keep going forward later on in these fights with the Aatrox and the Jax. Good pick right there from Xiaozhang, able to get at least that early 30 gold for himself.
KBG is just going to be playing this out safely since they have like 4 scaling composition. They heavily invest into the late game to maybe deny the outplay ability of Edward Gaming, because that has been the trend of EDG in their past few games, right? Their win against JDG, their win against Fennel as well. It's all about comeback, but it's so hard to come back from a massively scaling composition. KG is going to be struggling a little bit here, especially because this is a Fiora, and Xiaozhang has been doing one heck of a job just poking him out, forcing him to be denied of some minions despite the counter-strike. Man, even the flash by Xiaozhang!
Yeah, I think flash right there expended by Xiaozhang. KD didn't need to because he did have the leap strike. I think that was a bit of a overestimation for the Fiora, because he was waiting to get the second proc from the third ability to be able to get the crit hit and maybe deal enough damage to Jax. But Jax is also a very slippery target, so that would have been a very hard ask for him.
And he wasn't able to land the Vital as well, so that's a little bit unfortunate for Xiaozhang. Yu getting damage a little bit here by Alone. You have to really be careful of this Zeri. Even if it's just the early game, he can get a little irritating, and that's the luxury of picking up the Zeri. You have so much poke.
Yeah, definitely. That is why Zeri is also one of the premier marksmen that we have right now in the Rift. But I also want to touch on what you mentioned earlier, right? For KBG, they do have a lot of scaling potential. Jax, yes, is a scaling champion, but also can is not the hardest to scale champion, I would say, for the Baron lane. He can hold his own and defend himself and try to just get as much resources as he can on the top side. But for everyone else on the team, KBG would have a hard time. So that the Ton, is just really walking up here.
Yeah, he just wants to force this wave out, crash it under the tower. Because look at the gold here of Xiaojiang against KG. He's already ahead by 400 gold without any kills. Just the denial of the minion last hit. That's how good this laning phase has been for EDG.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, again, going back to the Ton, I think his job right now is to enable this either the Ezreal or the Vladimir to scale.
Call of support card gonna be used, and that's first blood by Alone on Xiaoma. Man, that's a massive mistake, to be honest, here by KBG. Just leaving out the Ezreal. Yes, it is a little bit independent, but still, there's so many catch from the Nautilus.
Yeah, we'll see the replay right here. Good catch actually from Langui on the Ezreal, immediately flashing over the wall so that he won't be able to see it and then just get the CC chain on the Ezreal. I think actually that is also a mistake on the Ezreal from walking that far up, not seeing where the Nautilus was.
Like animation cancel into the depth charts, making sure it has a shorter range so that it can hit faster.
Yeah.
And then goes in with a dredge line. 3 crowd controls on 1 target, just locks him down and secures a kill for Alone.
And now it's like a dual lane here, the top side, the Ton again on the top side, but yeah, that is a bit of an advantage, right? In terms of KBG, they're able to shove the lane, but you could also look at the experience difference right now between Xiaozhang and the Jax. It's like a full level at that point, about 2 waves. So the Jax will continue having a hard time unless the Ton will be able to get some a couple of tower dives on the Fiora, or maybe push the tempo on the top side, maybe push the turret.
And it's just a massive improvement by Xiaojiang in general, because last season he was bullied so much and wasn't even allowed to play the game and was rendered useless most of the time. This time we see him shine, especially after denying the Fiora from KG. And we do see the advantage that he is getting in the Baron lane just through the laning phase. Not even securing kills, but already securing a massive lead. 600, I think it was the last time we saw it in the difference in the Baron lane. Now we see it being accumulated by EDG with just 1 kill and through the platings as well, 1,700.
That is how you get these like incremental leads, right? And how you really take advantage of your laners having a stronger champion on their side. KG is a bit low, could have been something that EDG might look to take advantage of, but Keepers Gaming in the area while Herald is being started by EDG.
Great engage again. KBG does have a massive crowd control. Depth charge gonna be used already. Call of the Force God only landing onto 1 target, but Lang is already low. And KBG, are they gonna be committing on attempting to steal this RH out? There is no steal! A flash by the Ton to try and escape, and engage by Xiaojiang. Good counter strike to deny the kill, but Xiaoma is surviving. Alone is all alone onto the backside. Finally, Liu's gonna be helping out secure the kill onto the Ezreal. A 1-for-1 trade, but also the RH secured by Edward Gaming.
Yeah, good skill right there from EDG. They can now accelerate the pace of this game once they've put down that Herald. But going to this replay right here, we do see the Ton with that steal, with the trial of that steal, but still 300 HP. It did go to the side of 0-7-11, and Xiaoma almost actually surviving here, but Yo with the flash over the wall gives him that kill. Yeah, it was a 1-for-1, but with that Herald being won over by EDG, they can just put that down in the lane that they want to shove. Even the Dragon goes in favor of EDG.
That's because they managed to deny the steal from the Ton and punish them heavily for it. And now the gold is just gonna be ballooning. They unlock bottom lane, which is interesting because they could have used it in the mid lane, but I think they really wanted to secure first tower and maximize the amount of plays that they're gonna be getting. Now the gold leads 3,000 plus the Infernal Dragon. That is just so much resources now for Edward Gaming.
Yeah, I think they put it down on bot lane first because they want to maximize the amount of gold that Xiaozhang has, as well as to maximize the pressure on KG. They could just keep snowballing Fiora, and this Fiora can just take over this side lane. This Jax can't do anything when this Fiora scales later on. Yes, Jax can at some point if he also gets his items, but if this is the lead that the Fiora has, it's a tough ask for this Jax.
Yeah, especially for Alone later on the Zeri. Yes, you have massive crowd control, but if you're not gonna be able to pin down the Zeri, then she is just gonna free hit the hell out of you, and you're not gonna be able to catch her at all. Now they infiltrate the jungle here of the Daton and pin him down. So much crowd control to take him out, and KJ is gonna be next. Does have at least some sustainability, but will not be able to survive. 2 kills for Edward Gaming.
What a heat check right there from Xiao Zhang. He saw that the Aatrox was taking blue, and when the Aatrox started the animation on the third part of his first ability, he just went in for the riposte to make sure that he gets a stun, and that's how they started off that fight there. And now they're even going for this mid lane turret. It won't be falling in favor of EDG yet, but EDG definitely on fire right now.
And on paper, right, one of the ways you can just enable your team to take control of the full map is at least 5 to 6,000 at 10 minutes, or maybe 8. And now they're almost there, to be honest. Edward Gaming having also a late game scaling composition with an Akali just puts so much pressure now of KBG Gaming, because even if they manage to scale up into this game, there's still such a massive outplay potential here from Edward Gaming, especially coming from the Zeri and the Akali, and even the Fiora, that they can just do this! Look at that damage that came through to the Daton! A third of its HP just deleted.
Yeah, it's gonna be, it's a wake-up call right now for the Daton, right? He can't position himself that aggressively in these fights. If he gets caught out, he can get immediately deleted by CO711 and Yo. 2 assassins on the side of EDG. And I know we're talking about how the late game potential, right, for the composition of KBG. EDG still has their own. Still has this Zeri who's gonna deal so much damage. Look at Yo!
Oh man, you is just having a 1v1 dominance here against Anra 9. Just scaring him off, forcing him to back away.
Yeah. Going back though, yeah, KBG does have a lot of their own late game scaling potential, but I do feel in terms of the damage that EDG can output later on, it's a lot easier for them. Ease of use is definitely on the side of EDG. They just have to think about some abilities that they have to press. Right, the depth charge, the hook coming from Langui. They just have to think about those. Who's gonna get hit? If the depth charge is gonna go to a priority target, then we jump on him. It's just gonna be the Akali and the Kha'Zix jumping on that target. And when Jack Aatrox tries to counter back, jumping on the Zeri can just kite.
Muramana not completed though. This is gonna be a big problem, especially for the next fight. Because you need to be able to get this going, you need to be able to have that power spike in order to contest the second dragon. If EDG gets soul point, this is already disastrous for KBG.
Yeah, Muramana usually gets completed at 12 minutes, 11 minutes at the fastest. But you can also see some that completes it at the 14-minute mark. So we'll see if Xiaoma is able to get that by the 11-minute mark, hopefully. I think there's there's no camp, there's no raptor, so he can't get that proccing faster.
And this is gonna be very problematic. KBG struggling still. We're just waiting for the next objective to spawn up, but Daton might actually get caught here. Ocean Dragon again. If 2 dragon stacks get taken here by EDG, that is already massive scaling for themselves. We have seen them be able to completely dominate games and deny any possible comeback from the enemy teams. This time, KBG might just be a victim of this.
Yeah, now Dragon being set up here, but actually you getting the catch on alone needed to expend the flash. So no flash right now on this Zeri, taking away one of the escape tools that this carry has. Could be something KBG takes advantage of. So Forge God still there.
Yeah, they didn't use it a while ago, even on alone. So that is already great maximization of their utilities. You unable to catch anyone. Langui actually commits here with the flash into Dredge line. You as well. Night hide under the shroud. No damage as yet coming in from alone. Let's see if they are going to be getting any kills. No, they don't. They lose the Nautilus as well. But the Dragon has been taken here. And 0711 is going to be more than happy to do these kinds of trades.
Yeah, definitely. But Baron right now is open. Could be something that KBG wants to try. But 0711.
The catch! The Daton is in trouble. The flash though is unfortunate. But 0711 gets caught instead. And that's big for KBG.
Yeah, he thought He thought the Ton flashed to the left. He was wrong. The Ton immediately ran to the right. And there was also a Jax to help the jungler of KBG. The jungler on the side of EDG is down. This gives KBG a bit of breathing room, but still at the end of that, looking at the objectives, the Dragon did go to the side of EDG, 2 dragons to their name. They have that scaling at this point, and KBG still doesn't have any lead, any decisive lead at this point. They don't have map control, they don't have tempo. It's still, everything is still in favor of EDG.
Yeah, if they would have been able to get the Baron, that could have been the chance for KBG to actually strike back and go with a comeback. But since EDG is just too far ahead with the objectives, with the gold, and they only lost 0-7-11, and the other person, Langui, already respawned, they could not risk a 4 versus 5 in a Baron pit. It's just too dangerous.
Yeah, definitely. Now though, how does KBG get a lead? Right, and it's the same thing that EDG is looking for. It's gonna be front to back team fight. Unfortunately for KBG, that's what they need to do. And it's just gonna come to who makes the mistake. If KBG can catch alone immediately at the start of the fight, they can win the fight. They can take out one of the consistent damage leaders on their side.
And Langla's been really good in these engages. Condo's Ward's gone up, gonna be called out here onto Edward Gaming side. You know it's taking too much damage. Ignite is gonna die! He doesn't! He dies! The damage is so pure here from KBG! Stasis is gonna be surviving on to trying to survive. Under as well, going with the blood pool as well to just deal damage here onto the backline of EDG. The thought as well, joining, unable to get hit by Languis hook. And KBG gets 1 kill.
Yeah, KBG gets at least 1. It could have gotten worse for EDG, but KBG still needs a bit more of those fights. They still need a bit more to be able to convincingly get back into this game. But Yudo also with a really good bait with that stopwatch earlier on.
Oh man, this is already a chance for Keepers to maybe try and come back from this game. They have been looking for opportunities. They have been looking for avenues in which they can actually just get anything for around the map. They do get a turret in the top lane. That is already good. At least some gold getting put here into the backs here of KBG, and they can go maybe on a reset to try and contest this 3rd dragon. But still, Edward Gaming not really giving too much towards Keepers Gaming. There is still a chance for them to regain control.
Yeah, definitely there is a chance. You mentioned earlier on how what is a convincing gold lead early game to really snowball the game, and you mentioned it was like 6,000, 8,000 gold. That gold lead earlier for EDG was about 4K.
Oh, no.
Now it's just down to 2.
Oh man, MVP might have been just a blue buff because he wasn't isolated.
That is unfortunate for 0-7-11, but also I think that was a good mind games from Yu. He summoned the Call of the Forge God, but actually dashed away from it. I think EDG was very mindful of the ultimate and tried to dodge it, but instead to use it as a escape.
Oh, that might have been a big tower. And it dies! That's just perfect here for Edward Gaming now! They're gonna be coming onto this fight. KBG is gonna be backing away. Edward Gaming as well, but they turn towards possibly the last dragon. It's about to spawn up.
Yeah, it's about to spawn, and EDG, you mentioned earlier they only had 1 champion with hard CC, and that is, they only needed that from Langui.
Yeah, because Langui's just so good. Even in Season 1, he's just a god on the Alistar, but now he's proving to be a god on the Nautilus right now. Man, the setups are just too clean, the setup is just too good. Now he's set up here onto Yuyu. He might have been in a lot of trouble. Cam as well got hit with a slow. Thought as well just gonna be looking to back away. KG doesn't have the counter strike as yet. It's being delayed with the knockoff finally last hit, but it's already too gone for the rest of the members here of Keepers Gaming. KG is gonna be next. He gets annihilated and EDG just runs towards Baron.
Yeah, it's gonna be actually the dragon here for EDG. They could get the Baron after this, but what a win right there from EDG, taking full advantage of the mistake that KBG gave right there. Look at this replay right here. It should be starting at around Langui when he's able to get a catch. I believe this is going to be the catch on Anran, but I think he was already caught at this point in time. But look in the picture as well. It is the Baron being taken at the moment.
Anran getting absolutely obliterated right there.
Okay.
Like a bubble. And EDG back to back to back to back to back. They get the soul, they get the Baron, they get the kill on Anran, and they get the 6,000-7,000 gold lead. Everything now that is for their win condition.
They get everything here, Giyang. EDG in the prime position to win Game 1 of our last series of the day. And how have they been doing that? It's to not give KBG anything in this game so far. They have been methodical in trying to take down KBG. Some aggressive movements from them, but they have been doing this in a macro game so far.
Macro, micro, even the patience game here of EDG is just so crisp. This time, wow, Dredge tried to cancel out and to just connect onto Yu after going with the charge, and the Taunt might actually get in trouble. Managed to back away, the Taunt as well. Yu might be dying. The zap is not gonna be there, but still it's a kill for you. And now they turn, and they're trying to chase him down. Oh my god, that's perfect! Outplay by you! And now this is gonna be ending this game. EDG having a flawless victory here and can keep best gaming. Again, this is the champion of Season 1, but they defeat them like they're nothing.
Yeah, EDG on the roll here. They didn't only win their game, they even won Game 1. And at the end, even styling on Unrun 9